Going through the game last week, performances on the offensive side, we recognized Shane Wynn a couple weeks in a row, played really hard, finishing strong, great player for us. I think it's up to 50 catches this year. Tevin Coleman, really strong performance again, consistently doing it. And I don't know, Keg was telling me if he showed you guys, I guess that's the third most yards ever against Ohio State by an opponent. I think it's the most yards ever at Ohio Stadium and the longest touchdown run. So he's playing well. He's getting some good blocking. Defense played well, got him some stops, got him the ball back. We need him to finish strong. He's having a special year. Defensively, we recognized three guys. Bobby Richardson was outstanding, 4 tackles, 7 assists, made a lot of plays sideline to sideline, just chasing, sometimes the ball went to the perimeter on a screen play and it got turned back and he was the guy chasing it down, running faster sometimes than some of our skill players. His effort was awesome. Antonio Allen, and not just because of the 2 picks, those were nice plays, great position and great plays for us, but just some other, one he had, I think, 12 tackles. I think we had him in for 8 or 9 unassisted and 3 or 4 assisted tackles. So it was in 11, 12 hits. The 2 picks were just a lot of times where previously he had busted coverage. This game was just tighter and in right position and kept us on schedule, where sometimes with multiple formations and no huddle, mentally he could have had some MAs that haunted us. He really had a great mental game as well as the physical plays he made in the picks. And then the last one was Michael Hunter. Tackled well. Couple great plays, one-on-one in the perimeter, so recognize those guys. Our special team player of the week, Griffith Oakes, selling in, kicking really solid. Great job on his kicks, was awesome there. And that's a tough place to kick. That's one of the few places where they don't do the goalpost yellow and it's kind of white and gray, and their school colors are kind of that, scarlet with gray, so it can blend in. Their stadium's got that Gothic look to it. I remember talking to him during the week because I thought a year ago that really affected Mitch Ewald, just, the ability to see it because everybody's got the bright gold deals and they've kind of got it in their school colors and it's legal, but it's a little harder target to see. So I thought it was really good for Griffith to connect on his kicks and kickoffs for well. Our scout players of the week, we had Zeke Walker playing quarterback, did a great job for us, and Delroy Baker, 2 of our young freshman guys on offense. And defensively, we had 3 guys. Damian Willis has done a great job all year at outside backer, was close to playing, didn't play him, but is doing great. Ben Bach and Mario Swan. Mario's a transfer that's sitting out from Eastern Michigan, a Center Grove kid. Ben's been here a couple years, so those were our players of the game. I thought our effort was good. We battled, we overcame a poor start, alignment, mis-execution, but from there to settle down, I think they kicked it out of bounds, which gave us a shorter field when it's 14-0. That's a play when you go through plays that as a coach, I complimented our team like you had nothing to do with that. That play really helped you. Or learn from that guy's mistake, because all of a sudden that short field and Xander scramble and a touchdown, Flo punches the ball out. We get a fumble recovery by Zach Shaw. We make a field goal. It's 14-10. Now you got energy, you got light, and it became a good game. That game could have went the other way real quick too. So it's a game of momentum. We kind of weathered it, played pretty good from there on out. Offense sputtered a little bit, but the defense really settled down. And except for the first 4 minutes and the last 4 minutes of the game, the start and the finish, which is really critical to most games, starting well and ending well, that was the difference in the game. Their punt play that pinned us down, our lack of execution was huge. The turnover was huge. It was good that we got it into the fourth quarter, gave ourselves a chance, but it's disappointing we didn't finish the right way. And again, because we wanted the right outcome, the victory. We didn't want to. We expect our guys to play hard, play well. I think they've consistently shown they'll battle, but we got to keep playing well to win. We're a little bit better in the kicking game. We're a lot better with penalties. For some reason, that game, 1 false start and 2 sideline warnings, so that goes from a high end to a low end all of a sudden. 1 turnover, very, very end, 4-minute mark. We finally took a chance on a double move and didn't execute the play right. But other than that, a good effort. Defense settled down, didn't like the finish by the D. Offense still got to keep finding ways to get the passing game going, but appreciate their effort. And at the same time, it's not about effort. We got to win, and we'll have a great challenge this week playing our rival in Purdue. Again, 2 very experienced, talented, fast players. Their coaches will do a great job of multiple personnel groupings and alignments for them to get them in the perimeter, whether it be by design run, misdirection, pass plays, like ourselves. I think, they've had a couple. They've settled on a quarterback here the last half of the season. Has played well. I think they've had some injury at a couple receiver spots. It's got them a little inconsistent out there, kind of like we've been a little bit. And they've relied on their skill players, and those are their two premier guys. And they complement with a couple tight ends. So it's very hard for your defense because they do a great job with their coaching staff of using those two guys, but also moving them around a lot to make you work. So it'll be a tough challenge. And that's one of the keys to their offense is the way they get those guys the ball in space and the plays they make. Well, you guys are part of the attention makers. I heard a guy on national TV the other day say, here's one of the most unknown players you don't know. I go, well, you're on national network and you work for the Big Ten Network and you just made that statement. You can show his highlights more. You can compliment him more. But at the same time, it's not about him. I appreciate Tevin. He'll get his just due. The way he just continues to play and live his life. He's a great practice player, and he's a great leader. He's great off the field. He's been student of the month here in the whole athletic department for the way he conducts himself. And then the best thing he does is the way he plays on Saturdays. But I don't know, sometimes his Tuesday, Wednesdays are as good as Saturdays. So that being said, to me, he's going to be one of the all-time, for me, one of the all-time great Hoosiers and one of the all-time great kids I've coached just because of the way he does it every day, not his Saturdays. And if guys want to compliment him or not compliment him, he's getting better blocking than people think, but he takes a lot of nickels and he'll get you some quarters and 50 cents and dollar bills of it because he can make some guys miss and he put it in gear and go the distance. So his ability for the home run play is legit. It's week after week. It's a couple years worth. I kind of hate last year those couple games he missed with a high ankle sprain caused him not to be a 12, 13, 1,400 back a year ago, and now he's going to back it up. And I don't know if we, based on what he gets this week, and we've already talked about that. We're not about his stats. We're about what we need to do to get a W against our rival, and it's about the game and about the week of preparation. But to me, he's a great player, and I think he's better off the field and in practice than what you guys see. And what you see on Saturday is as good as there is in the game. And you guys can vote for him from all conference, all American, and you can pub it out and get those pins right. Everybody's got Twitter. You guys are doing it around. Let's go rock and roll. No doubt. And I think, I said this a week ago, I think on maybe one of the Big Ten call deal, but the real thing, we settled in. It wasn't Nate's injury as much as, Covington's injury, because we had basically 10 weeks of he was really the second. After a week of preseason, we said, hey, we thought this was the next choice. We had 3 weeks of preseason. We were in our 6th game, and we had an open date. So there was 10 weeks of Chris, and all of a sudden, it's really hard to get the third guy. A year ago, we kind of had a 3-way battle, and when we set it on 2, the third guy didn't get a lot of work. There's not that many plays. There's not that much time. And so that being said, when he got thrown out there, he was practicing every day, but he was behind. So it says a lot, one, for his spirit. He's worked as hard off the field as any quarterback I've seen once it was his time. I wish he'd been working prior, but I can't make him because by our NCAA rule, when that clock says practice is over, I can't hold him accountable to have to be there. But when he showed up the first week, I'm like, what are you doing? I said, don't you have class? He said, no. And my comment was, well, where have you been? Because there was 7 weeks prior of class, like, where have you been those 7 weeks? But now there was urgency. Now he was a little bit overwhelmed, but with time on task, great spirit, great work, he's getting comfortable. As he plays, he's getting more comfortable. And I think the players are getting much more comfortable. I think the coaches were just trying to put him in better places. We still miss some things. He still has, and not his interception, just once. Well, there's some things. He had the opportunity today to make a few plays where he has the discretion to do some things that sometimes he still played it a little close to the vest. So, and I'm not talking about where he throws the ball, it's just some things. Our offense is built in where the quarterback's got the green light. And as we're trying to increase his ability, like, hey, you've got the green light, put us in position. And as we watch the tape, it was like very good game, very competitive game. You're getting better, and you still miss some things that you can easily make you see it, and let's keep gaining on it. So, Alex, I like what he's doing, but still he's young and a long way to go, and he'll need to play well this week because Purdue will, like a lot of people, put everybody in there, and it's some one-on-one plays, and our receivers and quarterback play, and pass protection will be a big part of this game too because there's going to be some chances, and can we make the plays you need to win the game?
You've alluded to it some, but what has made Shane Wynn such a good leader for you guys? I mean, everybody refers to him as a character, and he has a clever, he has a sense of humor, but he also seems to, be one of the guys who leads the team and everybody has a lot of respect for him.
I don't know, but I think in my world, because again, I have a strong respect for him, that I'm not by any means trying to be his best friend, but I've tried to have a positive, good relationship with him. And I think he's tried to reach out and understand the direction we're trying to go with things and how important him being a good player is. Tevin being a good player, but being held to a good standard. I mean, you got to practice really hard, do things at a high level consistently. And I think Shane has embraced that. Matter of fact, we had a comment yesterday as we watched the tape. We just had some light work today because with no class this week, it's a little different week, and we're not going to overwork, but it's a different timeline. That's why we backed up the deal, so I appreciate you guys working with us here. But, he made a little joke comment about us last week. I said, no. This is your best week. Because the way I look at it, if you have consistently and constantly getting better, this should be your best week. Not statistically always, because you maybe don't control coverages and opportunities and the times it comes my way. This needs to be my most focused, best week of preparation, best attitude, best energy, taking care of my body. Because if I don't have many times do things, like the guy, that was going skydiving when he knew his time was up. Hey, if this is your time, you want this to be your best week. And that's kind of how we approach it with the guys. Rival game's a big game, playing for a trophy, all that. End of the season game, there's no bowl, but we always talk about just having some fun and focused and physical and making it your best week, because if you're constantly improving, you would naturally think that should be. And then hopefully then that'll translate into the performance. And I think Shane buys those things when we talk about that. I think he was very close with his high school coach, Ted Ginn, senior, who's a tremendous coach at Glenville and has had great programs, great players. I think he was very close to him. I think he was coached in a very strong, competitive way there. I think he embraced our coaching. And to me, he's always been one of the guys that was a great extension of what we were trying to do. And with that, that's why I really respect. And I've had several non-coaches, non-football people that watch us closely talk about how good he's been on the sideline, in the locker room. And those are some things, again, why I still feel results are a little bit short, but I feel there's been a lot of positive movements. We're trying to build the team the right way. Well, we're just starting. When I say that, I mean like yesterday we just had review. Today, typically we wouldn't practice today, but with no school and all, we just basically had a light introductory walkthrough this morning. We're not going quite as early as we normally do. We're a morning practice team because there's no classes, but we are used to getting up and going, so we'll get it up. But as I guess as we go through Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll see that. I mean, at the same time, you would hope what I like to see the team do is come out with the same energy and the effort and the attitude that we played Saturday, because consistently we haven't shown that we'll do that sometimes. So you got a great opportunity, you got a great rival, you got the last season game, you just played with a lot of energy, didn't get the outcome, but can you have the same energy and keep pressing to get the outcome? And that's been one of the challenges to the team, is to show, there wasn't a moral victory last week, but we played hard. Let's show we're tough enough and mature enough and do it again. And so that's been the direction, not because of the rival, but building our team. We got to show that we can do that. So I'm really excited and anxious to see if we're mature enough. Shane Wynn, Tevin Coleman, some great leaders will lead us that way, and see if we have the week we're talking about, see if we're prepared and have the week we need. No, he was good. He played he practiced in our light practice last week on Friday. He was at our stuff yesterday, played a little bit in the game. Today was just basically a walk-through practice and an installation deal, so can't really judge. He lifted today, so I don't think there's any. No, really good. And I think we're close. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much they need to practice, but I know Ralston's back here running around doing some things, and Nick Stoner. It'd be nice to get those guys back in. They're 4-year guys, been with us all the time. Nick's last game, so no guarantees in or out, but if there's a chance to get those guys on the field and their bodies and they can play well for us and help us win, I'd love to get those guys back. Matter of fact, one of the first texts I got after the game was from Nick Stoner, just saying like, hey, sorry I couldn't be there, but that was a great effort and appreciate the way you're leading the team. And I said, hey man, I need you Saturday. And I really need him Saturday just for him, because I think it'd be a nice deal as a senior to have a chance to get there and suit it up one last time for that game. So we'll see. No guarantees on that, but he's doing light. Jot again today was so little, but Love to get him back just for him as a senior. But I would anticipate the core of the receivers, the core of the running backs, the quarterback situation that's kind of settled in, the line, the defense, and there's nothing. Last week we came out of that one pretty good.
Defense was solid for most of the game. It seemed to hang its head after Xander threw the pick and gave up a couple of things to balloon the score.
Yeah.
How do you overcome that? Because that's happened before this season.
Yeah, no, again, one, they made a couple plays. We blitzed an empty set, and they were able to squeeze it and protect long enough, and they worked the guy one-on-one and beat a guy in man coverage. And then they just kind of outflanked us and just not proper alignment there to get to on the speed sweep, which was disappointing. I think that was more disappointing than the guy getting beat. It was a man-to-man play, and their guy beat our man. The second was a little bit more of a team effort, where, when I say effort, just team alignment, structure, and we got outflanked on the speed sweep. So, again, I don't think there was a negative with it. If there was, I think they could have when it was 28-20. 28-20, and the offense goes 3 and out, and the defense got the ball back. Offense goes 3 and out, the defense got the ball back again. So there was a chance for that thing to implode, and it didn't. So to me, we showed signs of going the direction we need to. And again, I didn't like the last little deal, and I think it was just more of players and alignment more than an attitude or a team deal. And that's how I approached it with our players. Because I thought it's a team, even though we recognized a few guys, it was a reasonable effort as a team, offense, defense, kicking. It gave us a chance against a quality opponent on the road, exciting game. And to me, that's something we're going to try to build on for this week and moving forward.
What do you do in terms of Thanksgiving with the team? Do you have everybody to your house, or what do you do?
Well, we practice. In college, used to be years ago, you didn't play. But I remember as a high school, my high school coach always had a big deal about, it was his saying, but the really good teams practice football and then go eat some turkey. Everybody else has popped the pads and they're running around playing basketball. But the really good teams get to practice football and then go have Thanksgiving Turkey Day. And that was always, because that meant you were in the semifinals, or in our state, the state championships. So the mojo, the mantra I learned as a young kid, it was cool to play football. Matter of fact, one of the biggest things we'll do on Thanksgiving Day is the Kid Turkey Bowl, where all our children come in and we kind of have the Turkey Bowl game. Sometimes our players will hang around. And matter of fact, my son, 3 weeks ago, hey, it's 3 weeks to the Turkey Bowl game, and I'm going to be the quarterback, and and we get all the kids together. So we have some fun with it. But we will go through a normal routine week. We don't have school. We're not minimized by hours, but we don't want to over-practice because it's the end of the year. You don't want to be tired. You have a routine, things you do. We do our work Thursday morning. And what we typically do when it being a home game is we will finish at 11 o'clock on Thursday, and we will allow the kids that live within region to go home. And most of those kids will take someone with them, or their families have came in town with their kids live in the apartments around town. Their families come in and actually will do Thanksgiving here. Or they go with coaches, our FCA guys, Steve Connor, Dave Hudson, have some guys. So I don't want anyone in an apartment or dorm by himself. We will have a Thanksgiving meal. Wednesday night, we'll have a big Thanksgiving team meal. We'll practice Thursday morning, and then basically they have a 24-hour window. They're back at noon on Friday. We've done that every year. We did it at Oklahoma. We were always playing Oklahoma State that week. It was just kind of nice to give the kids a little bit of family feel. I'm not anti, but if you're going to Chicago, it's a 4-hour drive. It's 4 hours back. You got 24 hours. You're going to sleep. Is it worth it? So we try to keep them within Metro Indy in town, and as families, we just try to cover them up. Several guys will go with Casoro to his house, or go to Zeke Roundtree's house, or Ralston Evans' house. You pick the guys. And everybody's got their partners. Everybody's going to Sean Heffron's. They'll tag up with some guys. Or everybody's going to be at Coach McCullough's house, or they'll be over at Coach Inge on the grill smoking up his barbecue deal. So we'll do something for the guys. So we do a team meal Wednesday, practice in the morning. We give them a 24-hour to be with their family. Then we come back in Friday, and we're back in routine, because it's kind of like our normal Thursday is, you go to class the rest of the day and we're done with you. So it's kind of like, it's like you've kind of got your time. So, but we do think the family part of it, a number of the families will come in here and spend time with them. And if we were playing at Purdue, it'd really be the same deal. We'd get back together with them on Thursday and do our work, and we'd travel about 4 or 5 o'clock and drive up the road. So that's kind of been our routine. Like to keep their families a part of it. But we'll have no one's going to be sitting in a dorm room by themselves. To me, because I started, when that was said to me the other day, I said, well, that's okay. One, shows that we consistently haven't been as good as we need to be. But let's go back and not talk about what I said earlier. It's really about this being our best week and more about the preparation in the week and everything we try to do, which was constant, consistent improvement and having a good week. Because if you do that, some of those things will start to happen. And we've shown some flashes. We haven't shown the consistency. Last week, we showed a flash of playing competitive for a while. Still wasn't good enough. Turnover at the end, kicking issue at the end, the big plays at the end, couldn't get stops, couldn't play offense like we needed to. Moving forward, hey, to be a winning program, you consistently do things. We have consistently not been good and done things that losing teams do with turnovers and not being able to overcome injuries and not coaching well and having your team prepared, whatever. All those things are part of it. So to me, those things come if we stay with our process, which is getting better every day, getting better every week. And that's why, to me, this comes back to our whole focus this week is to enjoy the week, have the best week we can, because this is the last time this 14 crowd will totally be together. Some kids will move on, some dynamics change, new guys come in. This is our last week. Let's make it the most fun and the best we can. And that's how, to me, we approach it. And if we continue to approach that, there'll be a lot of positives in all areas. And we've made some strides in certain things, but that's the missing link to the consistency that I think our team, our fans, our seniors, our players want. And that's why I'm excited about this week, to see if we can show that we start doing things that good programs do and start backing some stuff up. And that comes through preparation and then going out and making plays.